Imagine working with someone who lies so much, reality bends around them. Someone who can't lift a wireless mouse, but can lift a 40-ounce steel water bottle 10 times a day. Someone who claims they went to 4 different high schools in 3 different states at the same time and somehow still failed a driver's test because the town wasn't big enough. Yeah, that coworker had a name, Kevin. And the day his lies caught up with him, I was standing right there, front row seat to the most chaotic, hilarious, and satisfying downfall I've ever witnessed. If you've ever worked with someone who made your job harder, who lived in their own world of excuses and nonsense, hit that like button. Subscribe for more stories like this. And buckle up, because Kevin's lies weren't just annoying, they were dangerous. And exposing him? Oh, that was justice. You know how every workplace has that one coworker, the one who lives entirely inside their own head, where logic goes to die. When I started my job in 2010, I met mine. His name was Kevin, and he was unforgettable for all the wrong reasons. The first time Kevin and I talked, it was about a simple computer issue. His wireless mouse had died. Not a big deal, right? He held it out to me like it was a wounded animal. "Can you, fix this?" he asked. I looked at him, looked at the mouse, looked back at him. "Did you try changing the Tamiya batteries?" He sighed dramatically, like I'd asked him to perform brain surgery. "It's too heavy to lift." Too heavy to lift. This man, who drank water from a 40-ounce metal Nalgene bottle every hour, couldn't pick up a mouse twice a year. I actually waited for him to laugh, like it was a joke. He didn't. That was the moment I knew. Kevin wasn't just clueless, he was proudly clueless. At first it was funny, then it got irritating, then it became unbelievable. Kevin told me he took a college-level computer course, where the only thing they taught was how to turn on the computer for an hour, 3 times a week. "So, what else did the course cover?" I asked, already regretting the question. "That's it," he insisted. "We just pushed the power button, the whole year." I wanted to ask how he failed that class, but I held my tongue. One day during lunch, Kevin casually said he went to high school near mine. "Oh, really?" I said. "Which one?" He shrugged. "The one an hour away." Okay, specific. But he didn't stop there. He said he also attended high school for all 4 years in South Cali. I asked him where. He said, the south part. Then he said he also attended all 4 years on the North Coast. I asked which city. "It's on the coast," he repeated, like I was the stupid one. Finally, he claimed he went to my high school, all 4 years. He couldn't name a single teacher, hallway, stairwell, mascot, or event. He blinked like a confused lizard when I mentioned common campus jokes. 16 years of high school, if you added up all his stories, and he learned absolutely nothing. Not a city name, not basic geography, nothing. Then there was the driver's license issue. Kevin confessed he failed the test. Multiple times. Again, no shame. He said it like he was giving a weather report. But his reason? "Oh, the town was too small. You have to go take it in a bigger town. Only then you can pass." I looked him dead in the eyes and said, "But thousands of people get their license there every year." "No," he insisted. "You can't pass there. It's illegal." Illegal to pass a driver's test in a town with its own DMV. I felt my brain cells dying. But the thermostat situation, that was the breaking point. Most people can work at 70, 75 degrees without dying, not Kevin. He couldn't work if it was above 71 degrees, but he also couldn't work if it was under 72 degrees. Let that sink in. 71 was too hot, 73 was too cold, 72 was apparently the Goldilocks zone of human survival. He'd stand by the thermostat every day, shivering dramatically or fanning himself aggressively, depending on what wanting change he imagined he felt. I stopped touching the thermostat entirely. Not my monkeys, not my circus. Let maintenance deal with thermonuclear Kevin. Winter rolled in 1 year. Brutal cold, negative temperatures, ice slicing through the air like knives. Normal people wore coats, beanies, scarves, boots. Kevin, a light hoodie, cheap shoes from the clearance rack, no gloves, no hat, no logic. Every day he'd walk in shaking like a cartoon chihuahua. "OMG, it's freezing," he'd whine. "Why is it so cold?" "Because you're dressed like it's October, Kevin." But the best part, he bragged about how he warmed up before bed. "I just put a space heater under my sheets for a few minutes. Works every time." A space heater under his sheets. I genuinely wondered how this man was still alive. Up until this point, Kevin was just annoying, confusing, a walking circus of nonsense. But then, Kevin made it personal. One afternoon, my manager pulled me into her office, face tight with concern. "Hey, Kevin just told me you refused to help him with a computer issue. Again." I froze. "Again?" She nodded. "He said you've been ignoring him all week." My blood boiled. I always helped him, always, even when he asked me to do things any toddler could do. My pulse hammered in my ears. I felt heat rising in my neck. My hands curled into fists in my pockets. "He's lying," I said quietly. "I helped him yesterday, and the day before, and the day before that." My manager sighed. "Honestly, it's becoming a pattern, and we need to figure out what's going on." That was it. The line. The moment everything snapped inside me. Kevin wasn't just dumb. He wasn't just lazy. He wasn't just bizarre. He was undermining me, threatening my job, dragging my name. That's when the revenge began. Kevin loved one thing more than anything: attention. He needed people to believe his stories. He needed the illusion that he knew things no one else knew. So I weaponized that. I began documenting everything: dates, times, screenshots, every ridiculous request, every lie, every moment he said he couldn't do something. But the goldmine came one morning when he told a new coworker, "Yeah, I basically trained OP when they started. They didn't know anything." I was standing right behind him. I wrote that down too. After a week, I scheduled a meeting with management. Kevin walked in confidently, like he expected applause. My manager looked tired. "All right, Kevin says you've been refusing to help him again." Kevin leaned back, hands behind his head. "Yeah, it's been really tough carrying the team, but someone has to step up." I opened my folder and gently placed a stack of printed documentation on the table. Every lie, every contradictory statement, every timestamp of me assisting him. I even included a note where he said the mouse was too heavy to lift. The room went silent. Kevin's face turned white, then red, then something between a tomato and a ghost. I didn't mean," he stammered. "I wasn't done." I pulled out statements from co-workers who had overheard his lies, screenshots of him claiming he trained me, and my personal favorite, a maintenance report noting Kevin had tried to submit a hazard complaint because the temperature was 71.5 degrees. My manager stared at Kevin. "Do you have anything to say?" Kevin opened his mouth, closed it, opened it again. Nothing came out but a weird choking noise. Kevin wasn't fired, but he was removed from every responsibility that required interacting with other humans. He was put under supervision, real supervision. Every task required sign-off, every request documented. He lost the attention he craved, the imaginary power he held onto. And best of all, he avoided me entirely. He walked wide circles around my desk, didn't speak to me unless absolutely necessary, didn't look me in the eye. His lies collapsed, and everyone saw it. Justice delivered. Some people think revenge has to be loud, explosive, dramatic. But sometimes, the best revenge is simply letting the truth speak for itself. Because the truth, it doesn't need defending, it just needs witnesses. And Kevin had plenty. If this story made you laugh, gasp, or facepalm, smash that like button. Comment below with the wildest coworker you've ever had. And subscribe for more deeply satisfying stories just like this, because trust me, this is just the beginning.